Hidden facts about everyday things. You see these things every day. You use them without thinking. But if you knew why they actually work the way they do, you'd realize reality is far stranger than it seems. Some of these facts are things your brain actively hides from you. We are surrounded by ordinary objects, so ordinary that we stop noticing them. And yet, the most incredible things are often hidden in the most familiar places. Take airplanes, for example. Have you ever wondered why airplane windows are always round? It's not a design choice. Early aircraft with square windows literally failed in midair. Sharp corners created stress points the metal couldn't handle. A round shape distributes pressure evenly, and that's what keeps planes intact at high altitude. Now think about mirrors. It feels like they flip left and right, but they don't. A mirror flips depth, front to back. Your brain does the rest, creating an illusion you've believed your entire life. And then there's a question many people ask. Why do we almost never see baby pigeons? Because pigeons grow in hidden nests and stay there until they look almost identical to adults. They don't disappear. They simply grow out of sight. Consider coffee. It doesn't give you energy. It blocks your brain's ability to feel tired. And when that effect wears off, the exhaustion returns all at once. Your brain collects its debt. Your nose is always in your field of view, yet you never notice it. That's because your brain removes it from reality to avoid sensory overload. If it didn't, you'd be distracted every second of your life. Even silence isn't neutral. In nature, sudden silence often meant danger. So when everything becomes quiet, your brain becomes alert, and sometimes starts creating sounds that don't exist. Elevator buttons often respond with a delay to give your brain a sense of control. Loud packaging sounds make products feel fresher. Stores are kept cool to slow people down and increase impulse buying. You can't tickle yourself because your brain predicts the sensation. Rounded shapes feel safer than sharp edges. Phantom phone vibrations are created by expectation, not hardware. Time seems frozen when you look at a clock because your brain fills in missing moments. Familiar smells disappear because your brain filters them out. We remember embarrassing moments because emotional memory is prioritized. Odd numbers feel more natural to the human brain than even ones. Order calms us because it signals safety. Slow motion feels important because the brain associates slowness with significance. You feel watched because your brain detects tiny environmental changes. Music feels more emotional in headphones because it bypasses spatial filters. Dreams fade because long-term memory is partially offline during sleep. The truth is, the incredible isn't hidden in space or the future. It's hidden in the ordinary.
We just stopped paying attention. Hidden facts about everyday things. Why we feel uncomfortable in perfectly clean rooms. A space that's too clean feels unnatural to the brain. Our mind evolved to expect small imperfections. Perfect order can subconsciously signal something is wrong. Why fonts change how true something feels. The easier a text is to read, the more believable it feels. Your brain confuses readability with truth. This is called cognitive fluency. Why your brain loves loading screens. Progress bars reduce anxiety even when they don't actually speed anything up. Seeing movement makes the brain feel in control. Why we think warm colors feel closer. Red and orange wavelengths are processed faster by the brain. That's why warm colors feel more intense and nearby. Why we feel more confident wearing certain clothes. Clothing changes posture and hormone levels. The brain adjusts behavior based on what the body is wearing. Why time feels slower when something is new. The brain records more details during new experiences. More memories make the moment feel longer. Why rounded app icons feel more friendly. Sharp edges activate threat responses in the brain. Rounded shapes feel safer and more approachable. Why we remember songs better than facts. Music activates multiple brain regions at once. That's why melodies lock information into memory. Why do we trust familiar sounds more often? The brain perceives familiarity as safe. Even the simple click of a light switch or the sound of footsteps at home reduces anxiety. Unknown sounds, on the contrary, make the brain wary. Why don't we notice gradual changes? The brain ignores slow changes. This is why we don't notice how we darken, age, or change. The brain only reacts to sudden shifts. Why does movement outside the window seem faster than inside the room? The brain estimates speed based on the number of objects. There are more of them outside the window, so movement seems faster, even if the actual speed is the same. Why do we often remember the past better than it was? The brain softens negative memories over time. This is a defense mechanism that helps the psyche survive. Why do we feel relief when something is explained? Uncertainty creates anxiety. Even a simple explanation, even an imperfect one, gives the brain a sense of order and control. Why we overestimate rare dangers. The brain prioritizes dramatic events over common ones. This is why plane crashes feel scarier than car accidents. Why repetition makes ideas feel true. The more often you hear something, the more familiar it feels, and familiarity is often mistaken for truth. And the strangest part is, this is happening all the time. If you enjoyed this video, consider subscribing. It helps support the channel and allows me to keep exploring the hidden side of everyday life.